The men on Thursday morning, and also I've taught in Good News Club as well. I've taught the book of Esther. And there are two characters in the book of Esther besides Esther. Obviously, there's the king and there's Esther, but there's two other characters as well. There's Mordechai and there's Haman. And it's very interesting to see the dialogue between Mordecai and Haman, the relationship that they actually didn't have with one another. Mordecai, as we know, he was a Jew, and Haman, as we know, as you read his description, he was an Agagite, which is from the Amalekites. If you read back in the Old Testament, the Amalekites and the Jews, the Amalekites had a great hostility against the Jews, and God actually told them in many different places to blot out the name. Actually, God said, I'm going to blot out the name of the Amalekites. And there was a time when Saul had actually went and he had war against the Amalekites, and they captured the King Agag, and Saul wanted to do them a favor, and so he kept King Agag alive. But then Samuel came, and as we know, as we read the book of 1 Samuel, Samuel came and he actually hacked Agag to pieces to show the wrath that God had against the Amalekites. Now fast forward, here's now Mordecai, who's a Jew. Here's then Haman, who is an Agagite from the Amalekites. And Haman, he goes up in ranks. He's number 2 in the kingdom. You could say like a president. He's not like the vice president in the kingdom. And he notices that Mordecai does not bow down to him. He does not give him the reverence that he was supposed to get. But this was kind of like emperor worship. And Mordecai did this because he wanted to honor and respect the true king, that is God. As a Jew, he felt a respect and a love inside for God and bowed down to God and not before any other man. But Haman, he not only hated Mordecai because of this, he hated all the Jews and plotted against them to kill the whole nation of Israel. And so I just want us to concentrate and focus for a second. How can we apply this to us? Are you more like Mordecai? Do you want to honor God no matter what, even if it comes at a personal sacrifice and detriment to you? Or are we more like Haman? This can go two different ways. Sometimes we have an animosity towards a certain group of people because of one person in our life who's kind of a part of that group of people. And it can go the other way too. Sometimes because we have a disregard for a group of people, we then have a hatred towards, a hostility towards, a dislike towards a certain person who may belong to that group of people. May we see all people as made in the image of God. As we look to the Jews right now, and all the hostility coming towards them from all sides, let's remember that they are God's chosen people. And let's pray for them, pray that they turn to their Messiah, and pray that we remain a friend to Israel. But again, think, are you more like Mordecai or Haman? I pray that you're more like Mordecai in your devotion to God. Thank you for joining me.